What is going on, y'all? Welcome to Joel Friday TV. I'm Joel Friday. Welcome to the show. A few announcements before we get started. Hit that like button, smack it. Later, smack down the like, subscribe, and share button. Tell your peoples about the show so we get the subscribers up and a message out. Do it now. Help a brother out. As you guys know, we are live Monday through Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific time on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Punchy.tv. And at any point during the show, you can do what you want to do. But I prefer you call in at 888-775-3773, 888-775-3773. And you can call in. We could talk about whatever's on your mind. AOC, Donald T. We could talk about your wife, your husband, your relationship. We could talk about the gays. Whatever you want to get into, we can get into it by calling 888-775-3773. And if for whatever reason you can't call in, but you still have a question or comment that you got to get out, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JoelFridayTV or go directly to the YouTube live chat. Hit the super chat button there. I'll read your question or comments live on air. Live on air. So you do have that option. Y'all, I've been thinking. And before we get into the topics today, I got some stuff we're going to get into. I was thinking that I think I want to start theming my episodes, right? I'm here Monday through Thursday, and it's kind of a bit of randomness throughout the week. You kind of never know what you're going to get. Like my show is like just be random sometimes, right? And it's not necessarily a bad thing. I kind of like just kind of doing whatever comes to me. But I thought it'd be kind of fun to start theming my shows out, right? On Monday through Thursday, have a different type of theme. So that way, people know what to expect when they are going to watch the show, right? So just an idea, I was thinking, each day have a different theme. I don't quite have one for Monday yet, but I have some ideas for the other days of the week. Now, I came up with these ideas based off of like requests people have said, like topics people have requested, views on specific topics and videos that I have of certain topics, the view count, and also like the interest I have in talking about these certain topics, right? So I kind of like drafted something together, and I think I'm gonna try it out. Start next week. So Monday, like I said, I don't quite know what exactly the theme for Monday will be yet. I don't know. But Tuesday, I'm thinking like we do those stories, those true crime stories where we do like a deep dive, where I do like a deep dive into the research of like certain, I don't know, stories, like that girl Hannah that went missing. That was kind of fun, right? Like the conspiracy theories about the fire. That was kind of fun. Realizing that the LA Fire Department has been begging for more funds, but instead of giving the firefighters the funds right before the fire breaks out, they take away the funds. Doing a deep dive into stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like true crime type of stuff. That's kind of fun. A little story time. So maybe Tuesdays we do that. Wednesdays, I'm thinking maybe we do relationship talk. We get into the dating. We get into the marriage talk. We get into relationships. Because I think that some of my viewers like that stuff too. You know? We could spare one day. You know what I'm saying? So maybe Wednesdays talk about relationships. And then Thursdays, sometimes I like to like break down like, how would you describe it? Like, for instance, today we're going to do a little bit of that. Is that if you pay attention to people's behavior, you start to like see what they're really saying, right? Not with their words, but with their behavior, right? So kind of like body language. You kind of read the body language and you kind of can understand what they really feel, what they're really thinking, and what their true intentions are. And that's kind of fun to me too, to kind of break that down. Of course, it's my opinion, and I'll always say that it's my opinion, is what I believe to be true. But I like to kind of break down the body language of these people, right? To kind of paint a clearer picture of what people may really mean or what they're really explaining to us, opposed to them just saying these certain words. You know what I mean? So I think we're going to theme it like that. As far as naming them, I have no quite specific names, but I think it's going to be done in that type of order. Tuesdays, true crime. Wednesdays, relationships. Thursdays, like behavior breakdown, body language type of stuff. And Monday, I don't know. Miscellaneous Mondays. Because I have no idea what Monday would be. But if you guys got some ideas, go ahead and share them. Let me know what you guys think. Should I theme the shows? What do you guys think? Let me know if that's a good idea. With that being said, today we gon' get into stuff. I have this little news story I want to show you guys first. And then if we have time at the end, I'll do a little poll, and maybe you guys can help me decide on a good name, on some good names. But this is a little news story. This is from X. AOC, Lord have mercy. AOC is in the news because she, there's a ban that conservatives have put forth, which is to ban transgender athletes. It's crazy that this has to be a bill. It should be common sense not to do it, right? It just makes sense. Why would you have a woman, a male transitioning into a female allowed to play in women's sports with the physical physique of a man? It's not fair. It's not right, right? Seems like common sense, but there's people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Democrat, who believes that's not right. That's not fair. They should be allowed to do what they want. So AOC, Alexandria, defends against this ban that conservatives have put up to keep transgender athletes out of the genre of sports they don't belong in. She don't like that. She wants them to do what they want and do as they please, and she believes this is not right and this is a crime and that this is abuse to transgenders. So she goes to the Senate floor and gives her little speech. I have that for you guys. I'm going to play that, and then we're going to do a little behavioral breakdown, right? A little things that I noticed where you can like point out the lies, right? So let's do this first. Let's go to, I'm gonna play the video all the way through first, and then we'll go back and break it down. So let me go to, boom. Da. Oh, wait. Hold up. I'm going to get faster at this, though, too, so then I'll be able to just be boom, 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 swift, and we'll get straight to it. But bear with me for a second as I'm trying this out. Hold up. Bow. Bow. Okay, we see it there. Here we go.
Here we are today. Republicans who have voted consistently against the Violence Against Women Act, who have taken away the right of all women to choose and have control over their own body, who as women are bleeding out in parking lots across the country, standing there, allowing us to die, now want to pretend today that they care about women. And why? To open up gender and, yes, genital examinations into little girls in this country in the so-called name of attacking trans girls. And to that, today, what we have to say are two words: not today. The majority right now says there's no place in this bill that says it opens up for genital examinations. Well, here's the thing. There's no enforcement mechanism in this bill. And when there is no enforcement mechanism, you open the door to every enforcement mechanism. Trans girls are girls. And for all the folks that are so concerned, thank you for your concern about women for the first time that I've seen. I don't know about y'all, I don't know who's been to gym class lately, but girls, even if you only believe in two genders, I've played co-ed sports all the time. But what this also opens the door for is for women to try to perform a very specific kind of femininity for the very kind of men who are drafting this bill, and to open up questioning of who is a woman because of how we look, how we present ourselves, and yes, what we choose to do with our bodies. I know who loves this bill. Yes, bigoted folks love this.
Okay, well, because I'm already tired of hearing it, but we're gonna do a little breakdown of that because I wanna point out a few things as she's going along in this video. Okay, so we don't necessarily need to watch that whole thing again because we're gonna replay it right now anyway. I just want to point out a few things, right? This is just my opinion. You guys have your own mind, think for yourself. This is just my opinion. This is what I believe to be true. And, you know, of course, I can always be wrong. This is just my opinion, okay? For one, when you don't have authority, when a person does not have authority, they have to put on a performance, right? Because authority is what influences people, and the authority is what gets people to act properly, right? But when you don't have authority, you got to put on a performance, right? You got to be convincing in a different way. You got to learn how to manipulate, right? Even if it's unconscious, but most of the times it's pretty conscious, right? But you got to learn how to manipulate in order to get your point across, in order to be convincing. That's why movies and shows and entertainment does so well, is because the influence of something sounding good or something be visually appealing to you is convincing, right? It kind of hypnotizes you in a way. It can almost get you to believe anything because it's very entertaining. That's what the lack of authority has to do, right? So I want you guys to notice that right off the back, look at the performance that she's putting on. I'm sure you guys already seen how that was a show, but let's just break it down more.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair, Madam Ranking Member. Here we are today.
Look, for once, you got to whip her hair out the way. And then she does a look. Here we are today, right? She already like doing these dramatics, and she's just dramatic herself, it seems to be. But look at all the theatrics already.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair, Madam Ranking Member. Here we are today.
Here we are today. You know what I mean? Already dramatic. Here we go.
Republicans who have voted consistently against the Violence Against Women Act, who have taken away the right of all women to choose and have control over their own body, who, as women are bleeding out in parking lots across the country, standing there, allowing us to die.
Okay, so that statement in there right there. Also, you got to realize that you also have to make wild claims, right? When you want people to believe your side, when you want people to believe you, you have to make these wild claims, leaving women out and high and dry just to die, right? These like far out dramatic claims to be convincing. And the reason why this has to happen, in my opinion, is because she don't really even believe it. she don't really even know it to be true. Because if she did, she would have confidence to just explain it in a normal way, right? There's nothing wrong with having hands or using like hands and being descriptive, but she's putting on a show. She's putting on a show, right? And in her language, this is trained. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is trained behavior. She knows exactly what she's doing. She knows how to get you going. She knows how to be convincing. So she uses all these tricks, but if you're not paying attention, if you're not observing, then you're gonna miss the fact that these are tactics. It ain't got nothing to do with the truth. This is influence. Influence 101. Here we go.
Now the country standing there, allowing us to die, now want to pretend today that they care about women. And why? To open up gender and, yes, genital examinations into little girls in this country in the so-called name of attacking trans girls. And to that, today, what we have to say are two words: not today.
Not today. That's like a slogan, right? We have two words to say: not today. And you're supposed to be like, ooh. You know what I mean? You're supposed to be like, ooh, she's got us. All right? It's another tactic.
The majority right now says there's no place in this bill that says it opens up for genital examinations. Well, here's the thing. There's no enforcement mechanism in this bill.
Okay.
Enforcement mechanism. Trans girls are girls. And for all the folks that are so concerned, thank you for your concern about women for the first time that I've seen. I don't know.
Look at the guy in the back. The guy in the back's even laughing because he knows it's just kind of crazy.
Thank you for your concern about women for the first time that I've seen.
Look at him in the back.
I don't know about y'all. I don't know who's been to gym class lately, but
also, I don't know about y'all. You know what I'm saying? She's saying these words. I don't know about y'all. You know what I mean? You know, all this stuff is playing a part and getting the point across, right? Y'all, all this slang and all this stuff is all like on purpose to have this type of send this message, reach people, be relatable, all this stuff.
But girls, even if you only believe in two genders, I've played co-ed sports all the time. But what this also opens the door for is for women to try to perform a very specific kind of femininity for the very kind of men who are drafting this bill, and to open up questioning of who is a woman because of how we look, how we present ourselves, and yes, what we choose to do with our bodies. I know who loves this bill. Yes, bigoted folks love this.
So I wanted to address what she said right there. She said that a certain type of behavior that a woman has to display is what these conservatives want, right? She's basically saying these conservatives want women to behave in a certain type of way, and she's basically saying, no, you don't have to behave a certain type of way. You can be a man, identify as a woman. You can do what you want. Let me just replay that really quick, and I'm gonna break that down.
Because of how we look, to open up femininity is for women to try all the time. But what this also opens the door for is for women to try to perform a very specific kind of femininity for the very kind of men who are drafting this bill, and to open up questioning of who is a woman because of how we look, how we present ourselves, and yes, what we choose to do with our bodies.
Boom. So she said how a woman should perform her femininity, right? For one, she's just contradicted herself because she's trying to perform like a man, right? She's trying to perform and be loud and be dominant, and she's performing like a man. So it's contradictory to her idea saying Republicans want women to perform a specific type of femininity, right? So that's already a contradiction. But the point is that, yes, there is a way that a woman should be living her life, right? Now, it doesn't mean you have to live your life that way. It doesn't mean that you have to follow this truth about how a woman should behave. Of course, you don't have to follow that. Free country, right? Nobody makes you follow that, not even God. But it doesn't mean that there's not a proper way a woman should conduct herself. So you can't change the definition. You don't got to follow the definition, but you can't change the definition. And in my opinion, what makes up what a decent woman looks like, in my opinion, is a woman that's feminine mixed up with some innocence in there, meaning that innocence is her being open to working on herself, not closed off, not stubborn, not rigid, not stuck in her ways, but has this innocence about her, but also confidence, right? Those things are what make for an attractive woman. And it's not that these conservatives and Republicans just want a woman to behave in this certain way. What they're trying to say is there's a certain way a woman's true nature should be represented and what femininity is supposed to look like. And to me, that's what it's supposed to look like. And a lot of these people, like AOC and Democrats, or a lot of people don't know themselves, don't know what their true nature really is supposed to look like, so they just make up wild claims. But anyway, let's finish.
I know who loves this bill. Yes, bigoted folks love this bill. Assaulters love this bill. But also, CEOs love this bill. Because Los Angeles is on fire right now. And this is the number one priority this majority has. Thank you, and I yield back.
It's not the number one priority this majority has. That's what you just said right now. That's not the number one priority. Let me go back here. Whoa, sir. Joel, what you got going on, man? You're messing up. Sorry, y'all. I'm still learning these functions. I'm going to get it right. But the whole point is, for one, this bill, this has been an issue that's been happening for a long time, transgender in sports. That's not really my concern of the topic today was transgender in sports. It was more so just to point out the performance of a lot of that these people have, the false authority that they present. And when they have to do that, in itself, it's a lie. So it's hard to believe anything that they say is true because they're living a lie, right? They are not being truthful with themselves. You know what I mean? So it's hard to trust what these people say and try to follow these people unless you're blind and can't see. If you're blind and can't see, you'll follow it and be convinced by it. But if you're working on yourself, you'll see that this is a lie. You know what I mean? And the best way to recognize this stuff is by getting to know yourself. And I talk about this all the time. By getting to know yourself. Once you get to know yourself, you start to see the manipulation within you. You start to see the lies within you. You start to see the wickedness within you, right? And the reason why you do things, right? And all you're doing is just observing yourself. And I've seen that all of myself. So when I see people displaying what I've already learned about my human nature within me, and understanding the intentions of my human nature, then it's easy to recognize it in somebody else. And you know when they're lying because you know when you're lying, right? You got to get to know yourself. You got to observe yourself. You got to watch yourself. You got to overcome. That way, you have a natural defense against the world, but also you can learn how to avoid, right? You don't need to know policies and all these things. You don't need to know everything about a person's personality. You don't need to know everything about a person who he is, who they are. You just need to know yourself and know what the lie looks like and know what the truth looks like. And that way, when you see the truth, you can recognize it, like I see it, in my opinion, in Donald Trump as a whole, right? And you can recognize the lie. You know what I mean? And you don't need to have all the policies in order to make a final decision. Those are nice. Nice to know details. That's nice. Details are good. Details aren't bad. But you don't got to do all that researching and studying and digging unnecessarily, right? To try to understand who a person is. But you got to get to know yourself first. So she lying. She lying. And another huge red flag is when people try to pretend to care. That's how you know they're lying, when they try to pretend to care. Because that's emotional, for one, and people don't really care. They just care about the feeling that is driving them, right? The satisfaction that they want. They don't really care about the other person. So anybody that's trying to pretend like they care and then going up on like stage and trying to pretend like they care and defending all these different things, there's a right way to do it. But if you have to get all passionate and performative and do all these things, and you have to, use all these tactics, that ain't it. That ain't it. So that's all. Anyway, I got some more stuff for you guys, but we'll chill on that for a second. I got another lady. Ooh, this lady was something else. It was kind of funny too, watching it, but we'll save that. I'll get to some super chats and some calls really quick, and we'll kind of go from there. He Lazy says, with the super chat, says ALC weighs in with her opinion, basically a fart. What the? I can't say that on air. It's not proper. But I appreciate the super chat. He Lazy. Let me check and see here. Let's see. I got some people on the line that want to get in. I'll get to that right now. Let me just double check these super chats. Give me a second here. Interesting stuff though, right? Press 1 if it's interesting. Press 2 if like, Joel, you crazy. Joel, you are tripping. Press 2 if Joel is tripping. Press 1 if it's interesting. You know what I'm saying? Cause what amazing stuff. Let me go to Jaden out of California. Somebody said 1 and 2. Jaden, I was speaking with Jaden yesterday involving the authority of men and women, because Jaden was speaking about how he believes that a man should test the woman to see if she is worthy of becoming his wife. And he had little ideas of what he planned to do when dating to decide himself if she's worthy of being a good wife. And I told him, no, Jay, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You just want to just hang out and you'll discover that over time. But he said there's ways that you can discover if she's wife material or not by testing her in certain ways. So Jaden, and we're going to finish that conversation, I believe. Jaden, welcome to the show. You're on the air. Is that correct on that?
Yeah. Basically.
Nice.
And really good topic today, too. Even besides that, I like the authority doesn't have to, like, be dramatic. It's true.
Right on, man. Exactly.
Yeah, just like a quick example of that.
Yeah.
I just want to finish off what we were talking about yesterday. I've been actually improving this a lot since I became more present.
Uh-huh.
But let's say I'm working out, like I'm with the Marines, we're doing PT with them. What they do is, if you don't look like you're dead, they're going to make you do more burpees. So if you don't look like you're, dead, they're going to think that you got more energy. Even if I could actually be really sore, if I'm not 100% dead, all right, more burpees, right? So sometimes,
Yeah, you got to use it.
On those last three burpees, I'll put on a performance.
Yeah.
So, like Leonardo DiCaprio. I'll be like, like barely getting up on the last one. That's on my knees.
I understand.
Even though I could do like 20 more.
Yeah.
Really, you know.
I understand.
And then you're right, because I can see myself doing that. And then I can see someone next to me doing the same thing, and I can tell they're doing what I'm doing, and they're not actually tired. That's crazy.
Right. Exactly. And exactly, great point is that when you can see that you're doing that because you're paying attention to yourself, right? You're paying attention to your behavior, and then you can see how somebody can take that to the extreme, right? And use that to, get ahead or deceive or play a game.
Oh. Hey, tripping, bro. But about yesterday, because a woman has it easy. If a man is working on him, so it's very easy, because she'll see the light in him like a moth is going to be attracted to light, right? But what is the man supposed to see in the woman? Like, what are some examples of stuff I should see in the woman? Of course, it's like you got to be like present, case, but just like general stuff you would see that would, because there's a lot of snakes in the grass now.
Yeah,
Christian women, they're snakes. They're not really Christians, but they can put on a really good show of being like Christ-like for a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, first thing is she has to see that the light is in you, right? And anybody can. Some girls can see that there's something different about you, but doesn't mean that they see the light, because they can just see that, like there's something different. He got a little, he's confident or he's whatever, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they see. So you want to pursue a girl that can see that the light is in you, and how you know that is how she responds to you, how she responds to that light within you, meaning that if she submits to it, right? And it's a natural submission, meaning you didn't have to go out your way to tell her, you better submit to me. You didn't have to go out your way to tell her you better obey, but she kind of just falls into the nature because she feels subject to that light, right? She just admires you and she just respects you, right? She recognizes that authority in you. And how a guy can recognize that in the woman is by seeing exactly how she approaches you with that. And when you see that, then you know that she understands it and it's not pretend. She's not trying to compete with you. That's another red flag. If she's trying to compete with you on who's more dominant or your dominance, and I don't mean dominance as like you trying to boss somebody around. That's not dominance. That's wannabe alpha male. So you don't want to do that. But I mean by like you just having this natural confidence, and if she's trying to compete with it and she feels like you're minimizing her or something, then that's another red flag. So a girl in the light and sees the light, respects you, and will speak up if she disagrees or whatever the case is. But at the same time, she knows that she's subject to that light within you.
So I don't see the problem then if I want to put her to a little test up front and save time so I don't have to wait for an opportunity to test her. Naturally, I can just set one up in the beginning, not tell her, and then just get it over with. You know what I mean?
But why are you trying to rush to do that?
Saves time. I can move on to the next one.
Right, but see how it's all about you then. It ain't about you getting to know and discovering if you want to get to know and marry somebody. It's about your feelings and what you want and your desires and you. Why aren't you let the natural process just unfold?
Because why would I do want that to discover, but why would I waste my time discovering a demon?
Because you won't be discovering a demon because you don't know if she's a demon. How could you know if she's a demon?
I'll test her up front.
But testing somebody doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get the truth. Because what if somebody fails under pressure? What if somebody fails out of nervousness? Does that mean that they're a demon then?
Yeah, nerves are the demons.
You don't want to. That's what I'm saying. It'll be revealed. It'll be understood over time as you're getting to know her without the pressure of her trying to behave a certain way because you're testing her. And if you try to ask her, she's more. Sometimes, like probably like a small percent of the time, they may be honest, but most of the time, probably like 98% of the time, they're gonna lie just to tell you what you want to hear, right? So if a woman says, "Yeah, I'll obey," that doesn't mean now you believe it and marry her. You still gonna have to get to know her to discover if she's actually going to obey. So either way, you still need the proof. No, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
It's like, you know how the Bible says not to date non-Christians, or that's, general Christian consensus. And Jesse even says he's not going to hire people who aren't Christians. Well, Jesse doesn't know if this person's really a Christian or not, but at least he's getting out the people who are just blatantly atheists out the way so he can work with people who might be Christians or not. But that's the same thing I'm doing.
Right, but how do you know, how do you think Jesse is discovering that?
He asked him, "Are you a Christian?"
Right. Right, but for one, you don't want to do a comparison of like how somebody else does it because you don't know what other information Jesse has that is allowing him to draw his own conclusion, right? You don't want to just say, "Well, I saw Jesse say that this person he asked and that was it." No, you want to know for yourself, and just by asking somebody does not mean that that's true. Anybody can say that they're a Christian, but just because they say it, that doesn't mean that they actually live that way.
No, that's what I mean, though. But if a woman says, and I would never ask her if she obeys me. That's kind of like a funny question, but if a woman says it, at least I'm getting the liberals out the way off the door. Like I'm getting a large population of women out that this woman could be out the door because at least she's saying. So she's either lying or she's not lying.
But you also got to remember too, is that you're facing off. Most women today have been indoctrinated and got that weird mindset. So sometimes they actually may be more conservative, but they're just brainwashed and believe that they're a feminist or all these other things. So they may not even truly understand what's going on because they may not even know what they want. And as you get to know her, maybe she'll start to change her views around. Maybe she'll start to see the truth. But you come out the gate talking about something, will you obey? Will you obey me and start putting people to the test? What about then maybe God should start putting Jaden to the test. Let's see if Jaden's a real Christian. Let's put all the OnlyFans models in one room, and when Jaden falls short, we're gonna send him to hell. We're gonna dismiss him.
Well, it depends what color are the models.
Let me bring on somebody else really quick. Do you mind talking to Serge from Texas? Do you mind I bring him on? Okay. Serge also used to try to test women, and he would try to ask them if they would obey and he would vet women at the very beginning. Let's see if Serge still feels the same about that or he's learned from his mistakes. Lord have mercy. All right. Serge, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thank you, Joel. Hey, Jaden, can I ask you a question, bro?
Yeah, what's up, Serge?
Nothing much, man. Do you obey God?
To my fullest extent, yes.
Okay. Do you feel some type of way about me asking you if you obey God?
No.
So why not ask the woman if she will obey?
Wait, Jay. Oh, go ahead.
If I ask her if she's going to obey, it's like a joke question.
So, Serge, you still believe that you should ask the woman to obey?
Yeah, you should ask the woman if she obeys.
So, Serge, you ask women if they're going to obey? Because I was thinking of doing it, but why would I ask if I could just, you know?
Wait, but Jaden, you guys are basically doing the same exact thing from my perspective, but you're saying you're trying to test her to see if she'll obey, and Serge is going to ask her to see if they'll obey, and both of you guys aren't letting the natural process just unfold. What the?
Jaden, this ain't no movie, man. This is hiring for the position of a mama and a wife.
What?
You got to see if she fit for the job, Jay.
Joel, that's what I'm trying to say. This chick is going to be the mother to my children. So why would I not just get her out the door so I can go find the real one?
Because you're not going to get the truth by asking, and you're not going to get the truth by testing. You're going to get the truth by it being revealed, and only God can do that. You can't control the process of that. It just has to happen.
You don't believe God tests us?
Wait, hold on. Jaden, you said what?
You don't believe God tests us?
No.
Oh, it's not. It's a natural test. So it's already pre-coded. So that's why everything is destiny. But it's like when you do this, it's like a butterfly effect. There's a cause and effect to everything. It's like a natural video game. So God, it may seem like a test, but he's not really testing because it's already done. It's not personal. He's not like testing Serge or testing Joel. It's like it's a natural code. Like he already made it so that you can see and feel things that come about in your life. So that way,
right.
In those moments, you can wake up.
So I want to know what's the difference, Joel and Sergey, and what's the difference between a natural opportunity, like I need something done and I go tell her to do it and then she does it, versus I set up the opportunity in the gate. It's the same thing.
No, because you're playing God. Yeah. You're playing God because you're looking for a result that you want. You're testing somebody and you're judging them. So basically you're saying that I'm going to set up this trap for her to either fail. Okay, well, you're going to say, I'm going to set up this test to see if she's going to fail or pass. And what you're doing now is saying now you're going to judge her based off of this one thing instead of actually discovering what she's really like. And people make mistakes. People say silly things. People do things and whatever, and they don't necessarily mean it. So you can't make a judgment based off of what somebody says or does. You have to see their character over time.
So do you agree that if God will send you a woman, he'll send you the perfect woman?
Exactly. So you won't
make a mistake.
Not the perfect woman, but the perfect woman for you in that moment. Doesn't mean that she's perfect. But the thing is that she'll already naturally be doing those things. You won't have to test her. So if you're having a test, for one, you shouldn't be seeking. But for two, you wouldn't have to do that. Something's wrong with you if you got a test.
I gotta waste time and money going on all these dates.
No, you don't. I never had to waste any money or nothing like that. Now, one time, I never had to waste no money. Is that because for one, when it happened on its own, and I kind of knew what I knew. So there was no wasting money. There was no going on dates unnecessarily. There wasn't none of that stuff. Because all that stuff, that means you're searching. That means you're looking for a woman and you're wasting your money because you're trying to find something.
My outlook, and because of time, my outlook is simple. I think that you have to make sure she's fit for the position, for sure. And how you do that is not by the constant unnatural testing, but you're evaluating to see if she's doing these things. You're consciously you're seeing if you're asking for her perspective on what a wife and a mother is, and then you're gathering that information from her, and then when she doesn't fit, you let her go. But
sorry.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Why would you ask these things when you can test her actions and see if her actions align with what she's saying?
Right, you can do that too.
All right. Well,
I disagree with Joel on this. I think you can totally do that. I don't think it's unfair because it's a job. A wife and a mother is a job. That's why we say keep the woman at home. If she ain't fit for the job, you got to get her out of there right away.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the best solution is to try it out. Try your way out, Jaden. Try it, do it, and see, and just learn from it. See if it works. See, because of course I can always be wrong as well. So try it and do it. See if it works. And Serge, I'm sure it has tried it, is doing it for himself. And then that's the best way to discover what's the right way or the wrong way. But that ain't never worked for me. But you could try it.
I will. If it comes up, I'm not going to go for a girl right now to try it. But
And
whatever comes up, I will try.
And then let me know. Call me back ASAP, right when the date's over. I guess the next day.
I'm
Call
gonna
me
do
back the next
exactly
day.
what I said, Joel. If I ever get another,
You said what? Oh, I lost Jaden.
Jaden.
I lost.
Joel, I know you hit the.
Go ahead, Serge.
Nope. Hey, listen, Joel, you gonna make this man single for the rest of the year. He ain't trying to be like you. The man trying to make some babies.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But it's worked. It's worked for me, allowing it to happen naturally, and that's what I'm saying. Let God add all things. But hey, listen, I'm not. You live your life, do your own thing. Apparently, clearly, you still have your belief on that. So if that's working for you, then who am I to say to do it differently?
In short, I'll just say this, Joel, that when you're upfront about the order and you're not enforcing it, but you want to know like right away, right? Like what's your outlook on it? You have the real conversations up front. Because if you ask the woman that's coming into my, without name dropping, that's coming out here to be my wife, if she obeys, that she's gonna without a doubt say I obey my husband. But what we find from most men, beta men who call, they you ask if your wife obeys, they say no because they didn't do the work up front. They didn't create God's order. They tried to custom it and it never worked.
I had to disagree with that. Is that they didn't actually have the authority. They actually didn't have the light within them, and that wasn't what attracted the woman to them. It could be all kinds of other things. If the light is, if they are that and they are what they're supposed to be, the light is what draws women to the men. And when they see that light, they can't help but submit to it. And it's not because they just like you so much. It's just that their nature, a woman's nature, is naturally submissive to a man's nature. So it'll just happen naturally. But
I agree.
Right on, Serge. I appreciate it. Good to hear from you again, and call me again, man.
I will.
All right, man.
Bye for now.
Interesting stuff. He lazy with the super chat says, y'all got to forgive 7 times 7, 7 times. That's a good one. He lazy. That's a good. You can't go wrong with that one. What's his name? Ang Band Art says, a coffee for the most sensible of Jesse's experts. Kind words of you to say, man. I appreciate that. I guess that's subject to opinion, but thank you, Angberg Art, Angban Art. I appreciate that. Amazing stuff. Let me make sure I got to all of these things. I'm trying to turn a new leaf and end on time. You know what I mean? Because American Anchor Baby comes in and Hake religiously, I'm talking about every single time. I think maybe one time he went overtime, but every single time Hake is on time and out the way so I could prep my show and start on time. And that's how it's supposed to go. So even though I'm here an hour, I still want to respect the schedule and end on time. So that way American Anchor Baby can come in and start his show exactly at 2. Because he be starting past 2 and stuff. And it'd be my fault, not him. So I'm going to start doing it like that. But I do have a couple minutes here. I have like 2 minutes here, maybe 3. And I'm going to get to this last call. And the rest of the calls, I'll have to get to you tomorrow. Oh, no, I'm not here tomorrow. Today's Thursday. No Joel Friday TV on Friday. Only Monday through Thursday. So I'll have to take you guys' call on Monday. Rick out of Hampton, Virginia. Rick, welcome to the show. You're on the air, Rick. Rick.
What's up, Joel? What's going on with you?
How's it going, Rick? All is well. I got 2 minutes here, and then I gotta let you go.
I'm gonna be quick, man. What y'all was saying was good advice, because basically what you were saying, hey, just see how the girl behavior is, see do she bear the fruit of God, and then she does, you know. But I don't think, because sometimes, you know, if you're dating, hey, if you got married, would you have a problem obeying me? It's the way how men ask. Sometimes, will you obey me?
Right.
Like they Pharaoh or somebody. You know, it's how you ask. And a lot of them don't mind asking. But then again, that's why a man should learn all they can, man, because a woman's not gonna follow a dumb man too long.
Yeah. Right. So you think that it's nothing wrong with a guy just asking a lady, would you obey if we got married and stuff like that?
I mean, it's how he asked it, because you know now, Joel, they take that out. You know, when you're saying your wedding vows.
Yeah.
I have seen it in several ceremonies. They don't even say, would you obey your husband anymore?
That's true.
If a woman requests that, be out, goodbye.
Yeah. That's
nothing, because if I'm doing right, I'm treating you with love, and I'm willing to put my life on the line for you, at least you can obey me. I'm not going to actually do nothing crazy.
Yeah.
And if that's a problem with you, goodbye.
Yeah.
It really is, man.
Good point.
Look at AOC, them women. They're trying to fight for yesterday. With Nancy May, I think it was Nancy Mason. The ghetto blaster Jasmine Crockett. She's fighting for transgenders to be in sports, and Nancy Mason like, we don't want them in our bathroom. We don't want them competing in our female sports. And AOC and Jasmine Crockett fighting for evil. When I see a woman supporting evil, that's another way that
Yeah.
You can't be my wife either.
And if you pay attention, right? If you pay attention, you'll see those things too. That's what my point is. I'm not saying don't ask. If you want to ask, you ask. But my point is, if you just observe, you'll also see that you wouldn't want to. Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't want to marry them, or you wouldn't want to agree. You wouldn't want to follow.
Exactly.
And that's what's important to me is the observation. But good points, Rick. I gotta end. Nick is coming in now.
Joel, we love you, man. I'll see you. Sunday service, man. I'll try to tune in for the church, man. So love you, man. Have a great weekend. Be safe, brother, and stay safe with them fires out there, man.
Will do, Rick. Appreciate the call as always. Thank you, man. Have a good one. All right, y'all. I gotta end. Amazing stuff. Thank you guys for the calls, the super chats, all that stuff. I appreciate it. I'm not here tomorrow. I'll be back on Monday though. Make sure you guys check out American Anchor Baby coming up right now. Fallen State tomorrow at 12 p.m. Pacific time. And also church on Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Don't miss it all. Amazing stuff. Until next time, y'all. Bye.